Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah Wisted. Today we are talking pantry organization. Had the hankering of like totally transforming my house and minimizing, I don't know if minimizing is the right word, organizing pretty much everything that I can just to make my life more simple and just less overwhelmed in the day-to-day. And I figured starting with the pantry is a great place because I feel like you're in there a lot throughout the day, just especially if you're work from home, you know, cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks in between. And then of course, now that we have a toddler, there's just constant snacks. Like I feel like you're constantly feeding your baby. So yeah, I decided to upgrade my pantry space and finally get organized. I did work with Neat Method on this pantry organization, which was so helpful because I am not an organization expert and I really needed a second pair of eyes to help me understand what I'm doing, what I'm doing wrong and what I could do better. And then just stuff that I didn't know, I guess. What I'm gonna do in this video is kind of share with you the process that I went through to get my pantry organized and up to date. And I'm also gonna share with you the after and then just the different products that I chose off of Neat Method's website. They have some really great options for products, but you can also just go to like the Container Store, Target, or whatever makes sense for you. In any case, this video is just going to be the process that I was taken through to organize my pantry. So if you want to do that for your pantry as well, hopefully you will gain some tips and tricks on how to do it yourself. And then of course, who doesn't love an organization after? Because I feel like I'm like addicted to seeing people's after videos. So the great thing about the Neat Method is they are both a consultation service as well as sell products to help implement their consultation. I feel like when you can find a company that can do both really well, that is the company that you should definitely look towards and working with, just because they pretty much have figured it all out for you and all you have to really do is implement. Step one of the pantry organization, of course, was the consult, and you can do this either virtually or in person. They do recommend in person, but if you for some reason don't want somebody in your house or you're short on time like I am, I was definitely super short on time, I did it all virtual. So you can do it all virtual as well if that's a preference of yours. But again, if you want someone in there pretty much hands-on doing everything, then you can also have them in person as well. So I'm going to show you a little clip of my virtual consult with Lisa. She was super helpful, provided so many tips. This consult was very specific to me and my situation. So I'm going to try and pull out some, I guess, good gems that I can share with you guys. So it's just like the high level bullet points, if you will. And like I said, whenever you schedule your consult with Neat Method, they will be very specific to your situation and your needs and what your family uses the pantry space for. So I will insert that here.
Hi Sarah, it's so nice to meet you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Good. We are an end-to-end full-service home organizing company where we help clients move into new homes, we help them create systems through any life transitions, children getting older, getting married, empty nesters, any kind of like part of, or even like new hobbies. Like we have clients who are like, I've started working out, my closet isn't working for me anymore, or I've gone back to work and my closet isn't working for me, or I decided not to go back to work. So any like life transitions, we can come in and help you create a system that'll just make it easier to do what you want to do. What are your priorities with the space?
My husband and I cook a lot. So that's number one. And then number two, we have a baby now. She is 17 months. And we've, of course, noticed as she gets older, I feel like she's just constantly eating. Our pantry, when we moved into our house, it was kind of one of those things where we were just like, okay, just like get it in there and we'll figure it out later. And we've never figured it out later. So it's just been like stuffed in there.
All of what we talk about a lot are transitions, and it's all about making transitions a lot easier, because those, I feel like, in life are a lot of the pain points, like getting out the door, getting into the car, bedtime, especially if you have kids, transitioning from dinner to cleanup. I feel like it's another point where you just want to get it as simple and as quick as possible, because you can't avoid doing it, and no one truly enjoys it. Can you walk me to your pantry? Since I'm not there in person, can you walk me so I can kind of see how your pantry is orientated to your kitchen?
Yes, I
Does that
can.
make sense?
So here's our kitchen, and that's all the stuff that I just pulled out, just like Arthur. And then our pantry is right here.
What we like to refer to as prime real estate is those shelves or cabinets that are right at eye level for you, where it's really easy to access the item and put it back. And what you want in your prime real estate are those items that you use every single day. And with the kitchen, I always beat up the waffle maker. So almost everyone has a waffle maker.
We do have one.
Okay, there you go. See, up on that top shelf. And what I love is people put it up like really far away. And there's a difference between, I'm going to see if I can articulate it right, difference between a waffle maker, which could potentially be an everyday item, and let's say that special cake stand that you use just for birthdays. Mm-hmm. That cake stand, when a birthday rolls around, you're going to remember, oh, I have to grab the cake stand. So that cake stand could go, like, I like to call it Siberia. It could go as far away as possible up on a shelf that's difficult to reach, because you need it very infrequently. There's a date, an event that's going to pop up, and it's going to remind you to use it. But with the waffle iron, it could be used anytime, and anytime, it doesn't matter. And so if you put it really far away somewhere where you can't see it, you're never going to remember to use it. I mean, they're yours, you can actually see, but that's just something to think about with space planning. Is the top shelf, the more out of space areas, it's amazing to use it, and you should definitely use it, but you need to be using it for things where you're like maybe holiday items, or like birthdays, things where, or seasonal items where it's like fall and you're like, oh, it's fall, I need to get this down. Not everyday items, because you will never remember to use them. Right. Like the next kind of like level down, what you want to think about is occasionally used items that you can still see. Like, it depends if you're a big baker, or do you bake a lot or do you not bake a lot?
I don't right now.
What you might want to do is, like, a couple shelves down from the top, not in the prime real estate, like really at eye level, you might want to have a basket that says baking, and then it could have everything that you need for baking is right there and out of direct reach. No,
oh, to my right. Oh. So here, let me close this door.
Is it the whole wall?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you feel like you're putting most of your, like, dinner prep there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, actually, because we do use, like, sometimes we, like, get these cans and stuff out, and then, like, pasta, rice, there's a lot of stuff back here that we do use. Maybe not often, like, the soup has probably gone bad, honestly. Yeah,
I'd say out of mind.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is where we're talking about keeping our, like, wine and stuff. Just because it's already there. I mean, I'm open to moving it, but my husband has like a whiskey collection he'd like to put out, and I figured that could be a good place. And then we just have like dishes that I use occasionally for content creation, and then our appliances that we use.
Okay. What's behind the space that's behind the door? Is that deep enough for your dishware that you use for content? Or
No.
Is it super shallow?
It's pretty shallow. I don't know if you can tell.
It's like cans, right?
Yeah, it's like, here's a can, so you can put probably 2 cans in front. I mean, maybe. Not the plates, though. Maybe, like, the bowls.
No, we want to keep it together.
Yeah.
Let's keep all the categories together. Okay, I'm still thinking about that space. It kind of makes me sad that, like, the canned goods space is behind the door.
Yeah.
But we'll figure that out. When we started the conversation, you said you did a bit of editing already, which is what we like to call, like, decluttering or purging. We use, like, nice word, editing.
Yeah.
Let's maybe start there. Books come out. All the knife holders, I also am going to say, like, I don't know if you do this already, but a lot of times when editing, if people are a little apprehensive or nervous, because I know it can be a little nerve-wracking, what you would do is definitely, like, create, like, boxes or bags that say, donate. I mean, when we're doing clothing closets, primary closets, we'll have a consign bag or box a lot, because if it's something nice that you can sell. So consign, donate, if it's beyond donation, like recycle, trash, whatever can happen in compost, and then also like give away, because sometimes like family members or friends could take things. But I would definitely say like books have got to come out. Both those knife holders need to come out. The shelf below is maybe like snacks.
Yeah, so these are the snacks that we actually we eat often. There's obviously our baby like pouches, the crackers and stuff right here, and then more baby pouch stuff that she eats. So yeah.
Can you talk to me what's up to the left of those drawers?
Yes. So
cardboard box.
Well, the cardboard box is this is from our wedding. These are just koozies from our wedding.
No.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, like we do sometimes have people ask us for koozies over when they come over. So I think
that's great.
Yeah, so I think it could be a good idea to have some sort of bin for those. We have some more over here too that we could throw in. That could go in that.
So what I would do is, I think, so this is like this is always another, I feel like we're hitting a lot of like the good points in your pantry.
Yeah.
This is that like functional, but also a keepsake item. And typically what we always talk about, what I kind of talked about being, is keeping categories together. I mean, do you have maybe like 40 in there? Like,
I don't know. There's a ton. There's like more underneath too. I don't know.
Okay. And so I would do like a gut check and be like, is this our family? Like, we are this family. We will be using these forever. And if you are, that's great. Put some on the
like
upper.
Up there?
Yeah. If you want to do that, you could do that. Or that space is also, we have a lot of clients that use that for vases, like oversized, like taller vases. If you have a stepladder in the house and you don't use your vases all the time, just because it looks kind of pretty, like styled when you look in. One really helpful thing with organizing is to take everything out to see what you actually have. These two baskets, it would be really helpful to get them out in the kitchen counter, take everything out of them and group them according to like with like, and then see, you have 2 rolling pins. Do you bake enough to keep 2 rolling pins? Do you want to decant items, or are you like, I'm not going to keep up with decanting?
I would decant like these massive animal cracker things, and then like the couscous, the oatmeal.
There's some people that like the aesthetic. And for me, I mean, I do think it's pretty. It's like cuts down on, I think, visual clutter, not seeing all the packaging. But I also like it for function in that my family, I'll include my husband in that, they're notorious for eating cereal and putting away empty boxes.
Oh, no.
And it causes so much family strife. And there are certain things where it's like, is this the battle? Is this where I'm going to battle with them on?
Right.
Or am I just going to like kind of try and change it so that I'm not fighting with them and irritated with them every time I go to the grocery store and come home and I realize we actually don't have cereal. So I started decanting a lot of like their items, because then when I open the cabinet, I can just see we're out. It's empty. But it is nice because then depending on how you grocery shop, when you walk into the pantry, you can quickly see everything that's almost gone. What I would want to do is maybe decant some of your daughter's items in some canisters, and maybe even in the thin, long bins. And line them all right up next to each other so you can see them. Those canned goods shelves behind your door are really nice, because then you don't have to stack. If we put canned goods on the shelves, like where the animal crackers are, we'd have to get a riser because it's deeper. And risers are really nice, but it's like, since you have those shelves behind your door, I kind of think let's keep those as dinner prep. Can you tell me, what kind of aesthetic do you want? I mean, function is really important, but also for Neat Method, what we love is when aesthetic and function are balanced. What kind of aesthetic do you have? Certain colors or materials that you want in your space?
Yes, so I'm very minimal. I don't want to see a lot of visual clutter. I do like the wood tones, so I'm into that. Clean lines, like a lot of right angles is good for me.
I love our small grid baskets for snacks. That's what I put all of my kids' snacks in.
Okay.
I put them all in a row, and you put labels on them and say kids snacks. You can get specific, but they're pre-printed label sets that are removable. So if like she needs less snacks or something like that, you can remove the label. I feel like labels subtly shame family members into putting things back in the right spot. I would also say some canisters, and it depends on if you want glass or plastic, but you could decant. What we love to do is cut out the directions, and usually it's cardboard, and you can put it straight inside the with the couscous, or you can tape it to the back or tape it to the bottom. and then have the label that says couscous on it or oatmeal. Especially we have a lot of clients that do like gluten-free and things like that, so it is hard to tell the difference between items. It gets a little, I think, cluttered to the eye if you're using all the different sizes in one space.
Right.
I think I would try and dedicate one size, one shelf is one size as much as possible. That way you don't have the up and down so much. Snack baskets right along there that are labeled, so it's really easy, kind of like a grab and go section.
Okay.
And then keep all of your jars and your cans behind the door, because those shelves are dedicated for them already. And you could even kind of stage the items that you use for content. You could even stage them along upper shelves. Often we like to make spaces look like shoppable too, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And you do, I feel like, have more space in there than you really need. So you could, if some of them are really pretty, you can make them look kind of staged along the top so it looks pretty.
Step number 2, after my virtual consult and just having some sort of plan or strategy in place, was to map out my space and understand where I wanted everything in the pantry. One tip she did have pre-consult is to go shopping for the week, so go ahead and get all the food that you normally have in your house. The biggest tip that I took away from the consult with Lisa is to make your pantry shoppable. Essentially creating a little shop within your own pantry that's nice and inviting and organized, and you can see everything. That's kind of like the vision that I had that I took away from that consult. So with that vision, you have to ask yourself the question if you want to decant your items, in other words, take them out of the packaging that it comes in and put them in a different packaging. I did end up choosing glass jars to put a lot of my dried goods in, which I'll show you in just a bit, but that's a decision that you have to make. They also have plastic jars, so if you have children and you don't want them handling glass, you could do plastic as well. So once you decide if you're gonna decant your items or if you wanna place them in baskets or how you wanna place them, where you wanna place them in your pantry, then, like I said, you have that all sketched out on your piece of paper, and then it's time to go in and take measurements. So the next step is to measure your space, the different shelves that you have, if you're putting things in drawers, that kind of thing, just to see how much space you have in that area that you're trying to fill. Once you understand the space that you have in there, then you can go on your website of choice. I went with Neat Method just because I feel like they had really beautiful product options. So you go into whatever website you're on and take the measurement of the product that you're going to use in that space. So for example, I was using glass jars for a lot of my dried goods. So I went to the glass jar product. I wanted to see if I needed to do the extra large, I think they had small. There's like 4 different options. And so I measured each and to see how much I wanted to fit in the space. And based on how much space I had and then how many different products I wanted to have on that space, that's how I chose the actual product to order. Okay, so once you have your space measured, you have your plan, you have the products ordered and they're on the way and they arrive at your doorstep, this is when the fun part starts. I say fun part because I just had a really enjoyable time moving everything out of their containers into these beautiful brand new containers that I know are gonna look perfectly placed on the shelves in my pantry that I just cleaned out, and it's like where the actual visual reward happens at this point. So how I did it to keep myself organized is I lined everything up on a table. Of course, after I unpackaged them, I did wash them, and then lined everything up on the table. And then I put the products that I was gonna put in each on top so that I could stay organized and see, okay, do I have enough of this? Do I need more of that? I wanted to do it all outside of the pantry before putting it inside the pantry. It's just made sense for me. Of course, there are multiple ways to do this, but this is what made sense for me. So once I had an organization of how much stock I had, if I needed to do more, I did do a little Costco run and bought a little bit more of some things. It was just easy for me to see what we were out of, what we needed, or what we were running low on. So once I'm fully stocked up, I have everything prepped and ready to go into their containers, I started putting everything in their container. Then I moved on to the snack bins that I had, which are items that I didn't want to decant. I just wanted to keep them in their original packaging, but I wanted them to feel organized and have a place in the pantry. So I started putting those into the bins, and then of course my daughter's individual snack containers. I love that they have these individual like long baskets that you can just put the different pieces in, and it just looks so organized, like you're in a store, and it just really, really brings me joy, I guess. Isn't that the saying on that Netflix show? It's like it brings you joy with, what's her name, Marie Kondo or something like that? Yeah, that's who I feel like right now. Neat Method also has these really cool label holders, so I did opt for those as well. Just one of the tips again that I got from Lisa at the consult is sometimes when you put labels on things, it kind of helps your family keep things organized also, because they see the label and they're like, okay, that's supposed to go there, or wait, no, this doesn't go there. Because I did find when I had just the clear bins with no labels in my prior, like before pantry, my husband was just throwing stuff everywhere, and it was like I knew where things were supposed to go, and it would drive me crazy when he would put it in the wrong like container. But now there's labels on it, so he really has no excuse, because he should know where everything goes at this point. It's not just me in my head organizing. He knows now too. These ones in particular I thought were really cool. They're magnetized, so you can just pop them onto, if you have a wire bin, for example. I did get, mine were all metal bins, so it made sense that I could just like pop them on. But it also comes with a back piece that has holes. So if you have a bin that's, say, a basket or something that's not metal, it comes with these ties that you can just tie them onto the basket. So it's super simple, super easy. You can also order labels from their website, which are pre-made labels that they're stickers that you just take off and put onto these magnetic labels, and it was just super simple, super easy, and I didn't have to use my ugly handwriting. I say ugly, my handwriting isn't terrible, I just judge myself a lot on it. So once all the bins were organized, all the labels were on, now it's time to install them into the pantry. And you guys, this makes such a huge difference. Like, I'm telling you, my heart is so full walking into this pantry and seeing how organized everything is. We have our dry goods in their jars, we have some snacks in some glass jars, we have all of our snacks in the bags organized, we have all of my daughter's snacks organized where we can just really grab and go and it not be an issue, not having to search over here, search over there. In addition to like the snacks and the food that I got really organized on, I did organize my entire pantry based on the consultation that I had. I made it very shoppable, if you can't tell. Definitely have some coffee cups laid up there, different serving platters and ways to serve food also organized in there that you just have maybe one or two of, or just something beautiful that you don't want to keep away in a drawer. You can definitely display it in your pantry. Like, why not? Make your pantry just feel extra special. One of the things that Lisa did talk to me about was getting rid of stuff that we don't use or need. And Lisa, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I didn't get rid of a lot of my bar stuff. There's like all of these cups and like koozies and stuff that I just like probably don't need, but I just don't really want to get rid of them, so we're keeping them there. I swear I'm not a hoarder. I usually get rid of a lot of stuff, but I'm just like, I have space in here, so I'm putting it in. But she would say otherwise. You know, if you don't need them, move them out or move them somewhere in the basement, donate them, do what you can with them. So all in all, I am so excited about the result of this pantry. I know some of you guys were also excited, so that's why I filmed this video, to share just kind of the process that I went through. So hopefully it was helpful. But this is the end of the video. I will link all of the products that I used down below, as well as the Neat Method, just some information on them, because you guys, they were so helpful. I'm telling you, like, doing it without them, I would have probably done it wrong. I don't think there's necessarily a wrong way if it makes, you know, if it fits your lifestyle. But I just learned so much that I just didn't really think about beforehand. So if you're looking for someone to help you with that, they're here to make your life easier. So I will leave all their information down below. I don't really have anything else to say, so I will just stop talking and let you guys get to it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And as always, I'm sure I will see you guys on my next video.